They so charismatic, they so sweet, they act timid, they very charming. It's all a facade. That's just to like reel you in, you know what I'm saying? Of course in the beginning they sweet. Of course in the beginning you don't see the behaviors. You just don't see it right away. Yeah, of course, in the beginning you don't see the behaviors right away. It takes like time, it takes a while. But I promise you, they will have slipped up 3 or 4 times before you realize, like, yeah, they really do have a problem. They're alcoholic, so sloppy, just reckless, cannot be accountable. They're not responsible. It's yeah, it's irritating. It gets really, really frustrated. And before you know it, you probably would have been invested years with this person, um, just for it all to go down the drain because time after time after time again, they relapse, they slip up. It's all these behaviors that, like I said in the beginning, we see it, but for whatever reason, we just excuse it, because we all in. Um, a woman who's an alcoholic is probably going to be your worst downfall, you know, because they truly they truly are like reckless, like just reckless. They mouth reckless, they actions reckless, their behaviors is reckless. It's a turn off. But like I said, you probably have invested so much time, energy, money, that you truly feel like there's hope. Like maybe you could change them. Maybe they'll get it together at some point. Yeah, they won't. I'm here to tell you, they won't. And I want to help you understand like the signs, because I had signs, you know what I mean? Like I was 16 years in, before I finally just had enough. And I'm like, I gotta go. Like, I can't stay because it's gonna paralyze me. It's gonna drive me crazy. You know, um, like I said in the beginning, it's not so consistent as far as the indulging in the alcohol. But all it takes is for them to get stressed out about the littlest thing, and they always blame it on somebody else. It's never them. Oh, I'm drinking because my job's stressing me out, or oh, you stressing me out, or oh, I just feel like nothing I do is never good enough. Like they have excuses for everything, promise you. But the very, very first time with me, I think this was our third month of being together, and my cousin had like a party. And at that time, she was young, she was 23. So she did other things, and I thought it was the other drug, that made her act like that, because that's what she had told me. She was like, it wasn't so much the alcohol, it was just the pills that I was on. So after that was X'd out of the equation, of course she did it again, got drunk, embarrassed me, sloppy drunk. Because again, when she's not drunk, she's a totally different person. She's timid, she's non-confrontational, she's very rational, and she's a good person. She has a good heart, very giving, um, all the good things, right, that you see in a potential partner or somebody that you can see yourself spending the rest of your life with, right? There was little things, that she needed to work on, but I just felt like in due time, because we were young when we first got together, and I was no saint myself, so I just felt like eventually, it would get better, so maybe our 5th year into dating, like I said, we were toxic. We both were, because there was things I did, that wasn't okay. And it was not conducive to what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like. But once that was out of the equation, meaning that I was no longer cheating, seeing other women, or being physical, or, using myself, drugs, pills, then I feel like I was we had um more of a chance, to be healthy. You get what I'm saying? Because once I got sober, like I started truly working on myself. And even though we had our separate issues to work on, I do feel like some of the issues that we had years down the line, these are things that we acquired and accumulated while being in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of trauma that I had, that I feel like I was projecting as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a thing where she would provoke me. She would provoke me by saying things because she loved to bring up the past. She loved to bring up things that I did. You know what I'm saying? And she would always use that as an excuse as to why she's acting or doing the things that she's doing. But once I stopped all that, she had no excuse. You get what I'm saying? So then it was she just have too much on her plate. You know what I'm saying? Like I tried to encourage her to go through to counseling, therapy, because that's what I was doing. Unlike me, she refused to go into treatment. She was not willing to commit the time, and put in that effort going into treatment, because of course, she could do it by herself. The alcohol is really not a problem because she could stop. That was a lie, of course. But I suggested, that she go into counseling, that she go into therapy, and we even went to therapy together. But I find that like alcoholics, they really have no self-control. They don't. Like it's almost as if they're not capable of making rational and common sense. Like they don't have that. You get what I'm saying? And so it would be hard for me to try to be rational and talk to her, especially when she intoxicated. It's just like me thinking about it now, and it frustrates me. You know what I mean? It makes me feel icky inside, because it only gets worse. It's not going to get better. It only gets worse. Maybe three accidents. This is while I'm sober. In the well, at that time it was 3 years. Of course, it's been 4 years since I've been sober, but at that time it was three, and so she ended up going to see a family member, and this girl had a whole accident. The car was submerged in water with the dog in the car. And you would think even at that moment she would have the cops call me. No, she didn't. The SPCA had to call me and tell me like, oh, your dog is in the SPCA. And of course, me giving her the benefit of the doubt, like, no, she wouldn't do this. She wouldn't throw away everything that we've built as far as we've come. She wouldn't just throw that away. Like, no. Yes, she did. And still, even after that happened, she still wouldn't come clean. She was just deceitful, like just lie after lie after lie after lie. And at this point, it's kind of driving me crazy, because then I start to doubt myself and second guess myself. Like, damn, am I crazy? Like, is it something that I'm doing? Like, no, it's not. It's not. So it finally had come to a point where I'm just like, yeah, I cannot. So I just want to tell you the signs, right? Like I said, the first time that she got pissy, sloppy drunk was, we had been together maybe like 3 months, and we went to a party. And like I said, y'all, it was sloppy. She was falling out, her shoe, she lost a shoe, very unattractive. And we was young, so at this age that I am now, it's no way. You show me one sign, I'm out the door, I'm gone. You get what I'm saying? But that's a sign, like, don't let it slide. Because if you are responsible, and if you are a rational person, like, you just not even going to allow yourself to get sloppy drunk like that. Alcohol wasn't my thing. My thing was pills. But there's no way, like, I know my limit. Like, I'm not going to get sloppy drunk to where I'm embarrassing myself. Like, and mind you, yeah, we were together like 3 months at the time that she first did it, but still, like, there's no way I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. So that's one. Don't let the first incident slide. Like, address it. You need to, communicate it. Like, yeah, no, just don't let it slide. And then two, like I said, they will make every excuse in the book as to why they got drunk, right? So when she got her second DUI, her excuse was, well, I didn't go to counseling this time. I'm willing to go to counseling because I know, I can't um, control it. You get what I'm saying? But when she went to counseling, mind you, she went 1 or 2 times, and then after that, it was, oh, you won't take me, or oh, she canceled, the therapist. Like, it was always an excuse, or I have to go to another meeting, or I have to work. It's always something. Like, they never want to address whatever the underlying problems is because they just so used to bottling everything in. You get what I'm saying? And it's no way that you can give them constructive criticism because they take it personal. Mind you, they can insult you and be sarcastic. Like, it's no limit. But as soon as you do unto them as they do unto you, it's like, why are you, degrading me? Or, why are you picking on me? Like, it's all that. Like, they love to turn around and yeah, they just make it into something that it's not. And another thing that I noticed too about alcoholics, like, they love to dish it, but they can't take it. The minute that because they do a lot of underhanded stuff, like, they're very sarcastic. Me personally, I never could understand why a person feel like they have to be sarcastic, belittling somebody else as if that's funny. It's not funny. You get what I'm saying? It's nothing cute about being sarcastic. Nothing. I don't get it. But that was another thing I probably should have picked up on. You get what I'm saying? That every time I tried to give constructive criticism, she took it as I was picking on her. You get what I'm saying? And that wasn't the case. It's just she can't take it. Like, they cannot take it. 3, what a person do when they're away from you, it matters. Because you could be respectful, you could be timid, you could be non-confrontational, all you want in front of me. But what you do away from me is really what matters. So if they can't get it together in front of your face, in the presence of you, then for sure they can't get it together when they're away from you. So don't give them an inch. Trust me, don't. Because they're just going to disappoint you. They're just going to do something reckless, something stupid, and you're going to have to clean up the mess. Because that's what ended up happening with me, And mind you, we had built a lot together. You get what I'm saying? So when she left, even though she kept complaining like, oh, I'm ready to come back home, when we were away from each other, she wasn't working on herself. And I could see that. Her actions was showing me that. You get what I'm saying? Because it would always be some new friend or some new acquaintance. And then, of course, they fall out with everybody that they come in contact with. And they don't see that they're clearly the problem. Me, myself, personally, I keep my circle small. I don't have a different friend every other week. You get what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't rock like that. Never have, never will. You get what I'm saying? So it was always, oh, yeah, I just met this cool person, and then 2 weeks later, I promise you, oh, they're beefing. You get what I'm saying? And then it's never them. It's never them. Oh, we stopped talking because, like, some weird stuff. Of course, they're the common denominator. Of course, all the time. It never fails. Never, ever, 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 ever fails. And, don't get me started on this one. They exaggerate everything. Like, everything. Like, it's embarrassing. It really is. Like, it's embarrassing. She would exaggerate the smallest, stupidest stuff. And I'm just like, why? What for? I guess, like, it makes them feel better. It makes them feel better to put a 10 on a 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I don't know. And they're always seeking like gratification. They're always seeking instant gratification because they're so impulsive. Like they could never sit still. Never. Sitting still for them is just like torture. They much rather work a whole lot than stay at home and take care of, their children, help them with their homework, and be accountable for home. They much rather just do something that's going to distract them so they don't have to deal with their own stuff. That's another sign. Like a person who always in somebody else's stuff, or they always got something to say about somebody else and what they're doing, like they just can't focus on themselves. They can't because it's too much like right for them to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just be mindful. And it's never gonna work. You can never be clean and sober and be with somebody who's still indulging, even if it's alcohol, drugs, recreation. Like you can't be sober, be sane. Like you can't. You definitely have to separate yourself. And it's not you. You're not the problem. I promise you, you're not the problem. They're the problem. It's them. And of course, we all have our ways. We all have things that we need to work on. But an alcoholic just, they provoke. They know all the buttons to push to get you to react because they need an excuse. They need an excuse. And I promise you, it has only gotten worse. Now that they get the freedom that they always so desired, like it's just going to keep plummeting down, 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 down. Like they dig a deeper and deeper and deeper hole for themselves until it's just to a point where like they have nothing else. They have nothing else. Yeah, like just you can't change them. You can't help somebody who don't want to help themselves. You can't, no matter what you try to do. You just can't. You got to work on yourself, pour into yourself, like, because it's just not worth it. It's really not. No relationship, nobody is worth your sanity and your peace and your happiness. You can't effectively work on yourself while you have all these distractions, especially if they continuing to take from you, like they're draining you, just draining you. Like you can't be sane and communicate with the alcoholic. You can't. So yeah, just stay mindful, be aware, and it's probably just time for you to pull back because it's never gonna work. It's just not. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all later. Like, share, subscribe. Bye.